Hello everybody, and with the year coming to a close, we have some exciting things coming. On Monday, I'll be ranking every 2024 release that I played this year, and the following week I'll be ranking all 50 games I played this year, regardless of release date, so make sure to subscribe and hit the little bell thing so that you don't miss those. But today, I thought it'd be fun to rank every Platinum Trophy, or 100% equivalent, that I earned this year. Only thing to note is I am specifically ranking the Platinum, not the game itself, so let's get started. My most disappointing game of the year was also the most annoying Platinum of the year. Most Life is Strange games simply have you beat the game and gather a few collectibles, nothing too difficult, but Double Exposure decided to take the piss. The Platinum requires 2 playthroughs, as you make a choice at the very beginning of the game that has zero impact on the rest of the game, yet the Platinum requires you to play through the game with both choices for some reason. Add on to that, you need to romance both romance options individually, then romance both, and then romance neither. And don't even get me started on the collectibles, which were incredibly buggy on release, and only one type of collectible is even tracked by the game. It's a nonsense trophy list, and I'm just lucky I managed to get it. The worst game I played this year also had an equally boring trophy list. Another game that requires 2 playthroughs for no reason, as you need to make a certain percentage of decisions with each personality, despite it having minimal impact on the game. There's also a few different endings that are impacted by around 2 choices you make. Everything about this game just pissed me off, from the boring story, the game being unfinished, to the uninspired trophy list that forces you to double your playtime. Moving on. I know it's another Life is Strange game, but it's the last one, so we'll get it out the way. Life is Strange 2 is the middle ground. There isn't a single trophy that was annoying to get, there isn't a single trophy that was fun to get either, it's simply just finishing the game and grabbing 25 collectibles. There really isn't much to say, it's just standard for a game of this genre. Again, moving on. It would have been so easy for this game to have a boring trophy list as well, but they actually put a bit of effort in. There's a few miscellaneous trophies, such as catching 2 rabbits in 2 swoops without missing, something that's not particularly difficult but pretty easy to miss. They're my favourite kind of trophies. I ranked it this far down though because it's still remarkably easy. It's not an impressive Platinum to own or anything like that, but the game is that good that it's worth spending the extra 20 minutes needed for trophy cleanup. This is a pretty simple Platinum. A lot of trophies will come naturally, but there is a few missables, such as placing 3 rocks on the pile at the end of each run, and helping Zoe escape from the police, which could be easily missed. There are collectibles, but thankfully this isn't a game where you need to visit each location for the collectible, which would have been a nightmare, given that the game has roguelike elements and you can finish the game without ever seeing certain scenarios. There is a specific number of collectibles, but there are more locations that they can spawn in, so the collectible spawns are somewhat random, but it's more in the sense of you don't know which collectible will spawn in which spot. So you can find all the collectibles without having to grind the game for specific scenarios. Fun game, with a Platinum that didn't cause any frustration. This would be a really difficult Platinum to get on a blind playthrough, as keeping each survivor alive individually comes with its own trophy, as well as a trophy for keeping everybody alive together, and for killing everyone, so that's at least 2 playthroughs. The game isn't too long though. My first playthrough was around 3 hours and 40 minutes, which subsequently got me the speedrun trophy for beating it in under 4 hours, which I could see being annoying. However, if you beat the game once, then you won't get stuck on any of the puzzles in later runs, and you'll be able to get this pretty easily. I didn't mind playing the game twice due to its short length and intriguing premise, and I was pretty interested to see how each scenario would change. Decent Platinum. This game is absolutely fantastic, and for the majority of the Platinum, that much is also true. The majority of the trophies are tied to story progression and collectibles. There are a decent amount of collectibles to collect, so that can be a pain, but it's pretty standard for a linear game like this one. The issues arise when the combat trophies get involved. It's complete RNG as to whether the opportunity to perform them even occurs. I'd imagine it is impossible to get them all naturally on one playthrough, as there's just such a small chance of these specific events that you need to occur. But as long as you're willing to do that and aren't discouraged by a little bit of a collectible guide, then it's a fair Platinum and a great game. The Platinum for the remake of The Last of Us was much better than the original version. with there being zero multiplayer nonsense and no crushing difficulty trophies. The platinum for the remake of The Last of Us is essentially just a few miscellaneous things and then a collectathon. There are so many collectibles in this game, in fact there's actually around 140, which is absurd, but the reason it's this high up on the list is simply because the platinum is really easy. It's not convenient, but the whole point of a platinum is to do extra stuff. I'd rather there be more miscellaneous trophies and less collectibles, but it could have been much worse. I'm a bit conflicted on where to place the Scars Above Platinum. On one hand, I believe it's incredibly easy, and my source for this is that I got it by accident. I wasn't even going for the Platinum with this one, it just happened. But with that said, it would be so easy to miss this. As long as you explore almost everything, you can then unlock everything pretty easily, but this does require you to literally explore almost all areas unless you know exactly what you're looking for. The only main stumbling block is unlocking all of the upgrades, as you'd need to pick up pretty much most of the upgrade points in the game, which is pretty annoying, but if you just explore naturally as I did, then you should be fine. The rest of the game is just story stuff and miscellaneous trophies. It's a simple platinum, but the reason I've put it up here is since I got it by accident, I'm inclined to believe that it's a stress-free platinum. XDefiant is one of those really annoying games that didn't have a platinum trophy, and that really does my head in. But alas, I did get all of the trophies, so it's here. This was actually a really fun 100% as long as you enjoy the game, as it's essentially just playing the game. There's your standard multiplayer stuff like get a certain amount of kills, block a certain amount of damage, win games in different game modes, stuff like that. The only potential issue are the grindy ones. You have to level a weapon to level 50 and level yourself to level 50. Neither of these two things should take you too long though. Weapon XP is insanely fast. You can achieve 3 or 4 levels in a game if you pop off. The player level 50 can be annoying, but again, just playing the game is enough. The dailies refresh each day. I'd say if you completed all the other trophies and didn't want to grind for 50, you could do what I did. I just logged in every day and did the dailies, and you will eventually get there. I reached it in around 30 hours of playtime. The really sad part though is that they recently announced the game will be taken down in June, and you can no longer download the game if you hadn't done so previously. So I really wish this did have a platinum, as it would be somewhat of a collector's item, like those psychopaths that got the Concord Platinum. My favourite platinums are platinums of 15 to 20 hour long games where the requirements are essentially just do everything in the game, and that's Dead Island 2. The platinum consists of doing almost all of the side content and a bunch of random annoying miscellaneous stuff. Stuff like throwing a melee weapon at a zombie from X meters or hitting 3 zombies with 1 shuriken, stuff like that. The platinum also encourages experimentation, with you needing to reach level 1 completion in every challenge in the game. This means you'll be using different types of weapons and killing multiple different types of zombies, simple stuff like that. The only issue that could arise, aside from becoming frustrated at the miscellaneous trophies, is that you need to earn 1 million money, which isn't easy to do and will absolutely require some buying and selling tomfoolery, but that aside, it's a simple plan. Hi everyone, this is me. Look how cool I am. Just wanted to take a quick break from the video to say that if you're enjoying the content, then to please check out some of the other videos on the channel if they look interesting to you. You'd be doing yourself a favour if you really think about it. I even have a playlist with some of my best videos, so they're easy viewing. Thanks guys, back to the video. This one meant a lot to me. Years ago, I was denied the Platinum Trophy in Persona 5 due to a bug, and after sinking 100 hours into that game, that really stung. But Persona 3 Reload didn't take that long. I believe it was around 70 hours for me. It is a difficult platinum though, borderline impossible to do blind due to the time constraints placed on you. You need to max out all of your social links, and there is barely enough time slots in the entire game to do this. Maxing out social stats shouldn't be too difficult, but beyond that, it's just a classic Persona compendium nonsense and using each character's ultimate move, which is missable. You can do this in one playthrough, and since the vast majority of it doesn't require any extra time, it's just spending the time you do have correctly, and you will be putting this time into the game anyway, I think it's worth doing. It definitely could have been much worse. Now this is a platinum that did take me 100 hours, but I loved every second of it. This is a turn-based RPG where the platinum requirements is essentially do everything. I don't mean most, I mean everything. You need to complete the completion list, compendium, whatever it's called, I don't know. Yakuza games rarely have easy platinums, but I don't think this is too bad, just time consuming. Pretty much all of the side content is great in this game, so it doesn't feel like a chore if you fall in love with the game as I did. I realise this section is quite short for a platinum that's 100 hours long, but I've basically covered it. You just do everything, you see something and then you do it. It's a little grindy at the end as you need to reach a certain level that you won't manage to do naturally, but I found the gameplay so fun that I didn't mind the extra bit of grinding necessary. There's 2 dungeons you need to complete at the end as well, but again, if you enjoy the combat, it won't feel like a grind. This game is also just brilliant in general, but sadly a terrible starting point for new players in the series, narrative-wise. No other game could possibly have topped this list of best platinum for me, it's not even close. The Astro Bot Platinum is, again, do everything. Complete all the side levels, collect all the collectibles, beat the game. That's literally all this is. But with the collectibles being bot versions of some of the most iconic characters in gaming history, it's always fun finding a new bot. It continuously put a smile on my face. The side levels are also much harder than the base game, so it provided a nice challenge in contrast with some of the more accessible levels. The final optional level you must complete after gathering all the collectibles is so tough and really challenges you to utilise everything you've learned through the game. The platinum is only around 15 hours, so it's borderline compulsory in my opinion. I don't think you've got the full Astro Bot experience unless you do it. So that was my ranking of every single platinum trophy that I unlocked in 2024. What games did you enjoy platinuming this year? Please let me know in the comments and I'll take a look, but for now, that is all. Remember, on Monday I'll be doing my 2024 Game of the Year list, and the following week I'll be ranking all 50 games I played this year, regardless of their release date, so subscribe so you don't miss that, like this video if you enjoyed, and I will see you on Monday.